Hey, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Mindset Explosion, episode 49. I've come in a little bit late today. Just had a staff meeting because we had a celebration at the weekend. So we were just planning out the next one, which is in July. All right. Okay, I'm just going to invite a few people. Hope you've had a good day. It's not as the weather's a bit different today, but that's England for us, right? It's all good. So if you've got plans for the weekend, although it's only Wednesday, be here before we know it. Okay. As soon as you're in, drop some hashtags, say hello, and drop in Mindset Explosion, hashtag Mindset Explosion, some power emojis. That's what I meant to say. All right. And today, because it's Mental Health Awareness Week, I thought it'd be good to kind of share, open up, make myself really vulnerable, share some of my experiences and, just how things have helped me cope with it. And and the thing with this stuff is it either works for you or you might get some advice, you might not. Everyone's different with that. Hello. So who we got? Let's see. All right, let's just go scroll down. All right, hey Alina, hey Joe, hi Ollie. All right, hi Patricia, Matt, Grace, Ivana. Yes. Oh, cool. We got some good followings today. All right, so. Basically, Mental Health Awareness Week, and I thought it'd be good to maybe share some of my experiences and how I've overcome things and still working to stay self-aware of myself. And that for me is the biggest thing is trying to stay self-aware of when I'm feeling a bit down and what I can do about it. Now, in how it's affected me in the past is that to the point where I felt quite anxious and all I wanted to do was stay at home and sleep. And I realised that it can have an impact as well, and it has had an impact onto people that were close to me. And there's times where I could have been in a crowded room and just felt so alone and felt lonely, to the point also where I struggled even talking and opening up. So even doing this video today is really difficult for me because I kept so much into my, within myself. I don't necessarily think because of the stigma or that sometimes came with mental health, possibly a little bit, when I was more a teenager or a young adult, but more, I didn't want to put that burden onto other people. I felt, that I don't want to sound like the miserable person or bringing others down. And how I would deal with that then was, I just want to lift others up and try and be happy. And as I say with my martial arts instructing and coaching, that real helped me. And there's different things that have knocked it on, and so I think it's one of the things that's just there. And if I've experienced loss or grief, that of course we experience forms of depression and anxiety then, and even with work we experience the stress. And they're all things that can just, accumulate up and grow on top of us. And before we know it, we can feel like, or I felt in the past, like I had no way out. I couldn't see how things were even going to get better. When I say bought this as a business, it was probably one of the worst times of my life. So there's positive in that, to think that I grew a business, I bought a business and I grew it, during some of the most depressing times of within myself, and going through suffering through a lot of anxiety and feeling like really quite alone, and sometimes that made me a little bit paranoid as well, but not to the extent where massively paranoid, just more like who can I trust. And again, I think that's that form of loneliness that I felt. And I remember I think it was I not long moved to Cheltenham. It was Boxing Day 2014. I spent the day just with the curtains shut, a lot of tears just on my sofa. And, I guess, I don't know if I would call it feeling sorry for myself or not. I don't know how to describe it, because that sounds like quite pitiful. And I'm not looking for, you're well done or stuff like this. I just want to share my story, because I'm sure some people out there have felt the same. And it's really to say that, sometimes when you think there's that freight train coming at the end of the tunnel, that's the light. But really, no, there is hope, and things do get better. And slowly but surely, things have just, I've kind of relieved little things. And really, it was trying not to take things on in one go, and understanding just take a little bite, a chunk at a time, and try and improve as much as I can as I go. And other stresses would come along, and maybe a result of maybe sometimes I would feel that guilty for that. And what I found was I had to kind of sometimes remove myself because I didn't, and that was sometimes why I didn't want to talk out about it, because I then didn't want to feel bad for bringing someone else down or putting that pressure on there, because then when you feel guilty, it just only increased to how I was feeling, and feeling quite miserable within myself, and just that kind of feeling of loneliness. So what I found is sometimes I go out of balance. So recently I went a little bit out of balance because I threw myself into renovating a new academy and putting all my time into that, and long hours, and it cut into my physical training. So for me, when I come to fitness kickboxing, I love learning martial arts anyway, but this is more of like fitness because it gives me a chance to just release those healthy, or get some of those healthy endorphin chemicals flowing within me. And I feel sometimes it's just that chemical imbalance within myself where I feel a bit down. I might struggle getting up, and okay, I need to get up out of bed now, and I make the effort to go and do whatever I'm going to do. So work became I probably overworked myself in the past, but also because I could see, so it wasn't like I lost my self-belief, because I knew something great would come. I've had stresses of money, and I don't tend to stress that now, not because it's just there in abundance. It's not. It's just, there's more important things. So my children definitely is one thing that really helped me to stay focused on things, because I wouldn't want them to be without a dad. But there was also times when I felt like not wasted, it's probably the wrong words, but I struggled with myself. So I've had to make some sacrifices that are real tough, real difficult. But now I'm at a place where, okay, it was for the greater good. And say with the children, I feel I got a real good relationship with them. So what I'm saying is that when you're feeling like there's no way out, and there's, it's easy when you're hearing it and saying, oh yeah, okay. But when I was being told that I was going to get better, I didn't really want to hear it. It was a real struggle. And there's all different kinds of advice that I can say that would, to give. There was times when, really I just, I would struggle. I wouldn't want to talk to people. And that then it was like I kind of wanted someone there to just say it's going to be okay. So but not the whole, hey, come on, snap out of it. That was definitely something that would never ever work for me. It's all in your head. Oh, it's just a decision. You got to decide to do this. No, it's just a feeling I'm going through, and that wasn't something that was going to help me. So it's more about speaking out and being aware of this. And what's so great now, it's not nice to hear that someone has gone through anything that's where, with their anxiety levels or depression, or as a result of things that happened in their past, or just not coping, not talking about stuff. It's never nice to hear that, but I'm so glad that more, say, celebrities are speaking up. Like Dwayne Johnson is, I think the last 6 months came out. So it's really important that to talk and to have someone that you can trust. And when someone is talking to you about stuff, for me, I just want them to listen. I can work, because sometimes, let's say when I'm talking, it comes out a bit like now it's coming out, and in my head, or as I put these words out, it's to help me make sense of stuff, and may not have the answers, but it just helps me resolve in myself. Okay, that's how it was then, and how I look upon it now is different to how I look upon it then, because mentally I was in a different place, and felt like, okay, even with a business, there was just certain things that I hoped for and wanted and didn't happen, and tried to reach out and everything else. So if you need to reach out, keep reaching out, and find someone that, there are people that you can trust, that you can talk to. And as I say, when someone decides they're going to talk to you, this is from my personal experience, just listen. Try not to give too much of an opinion, and get too involved. Just listen to them without judging. That's the most important one, definitely, because sometimes when you've got something it is there, you do worry about how you're going to get judged, how you're going to get looked upon it, how it's going to be seen. And I'm in a position, even talking about this, it can be a bit of a risk. I don't want to get stigmatized as someone that's mentally ill. I've just been through hard times. I've been depressed. I've felt anxious. But on the other note, I see like the bigger picture. So if we come back to where I am now, back into my training, And that definitely helps. It keeps motion leads to emotion. So even if you can't get into a training place or a gym or go swimming or go out for a walk, just get out in the park. Something, I say on a Sunday now, I take my children home. It's not the best of times to say goodbye to my kids because I miss them every day. So rather than come back and be stuck inside, I try and make an effort just to go down to the park, as long as it's not raining, and just chill out for a bit, maybe grab a book and just, relax just by myself, and then, have that time of solitude, but in a good way. So if having solitude is fine for me, I'm now finding the right way to have that solitude kind of thing. I hope that's helped anyway, but that's just my experience of it. And the biggest thing is, when you feel it's in there, to solve the problem is to kind of find a way to let it out and not worry about opinions or how it looks or what anyone's going to say about it. And if someone got to say something that's a bit negative, and don't let that knock you. Remember my video from yesterday? One person's opinion doesn't count. That just means that person's not the right one for you to kind of share these things with. All right, guys, thank you for watching. It's obviously an important message. Peace, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Bye-bye.